Like I always say, if you're not down with the bullshit and you're down with the real shit, like and subscribe. I want to touch on some things based off of, like I always say, coming from the perspective of keeping it real. And the only thing, like, what somebody in theory is talking about when they say keeping it real is they're talking about being honest. That's the thing about the show, The Real. When I first seen that show, and they said that was going to be the name of the show, The Real, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, this is not real. Because I knew those 4 women sitting up on that stage were not going to be real. They were going to be opinionated, and they were going to tell their truth based upon the emotions of being a woman. Emotions don't always tell the truth. Emotions just tell how you feel. The factual, that's what's real. Now, however you feel doesn't necessarily matter. You know, if you can't really, absorb that true understanding and just run with that, yeah, of course, you're going to complicate your own life. It's going to be complicated with you getting along with other people and stuff like that, because once somebody gives you, true reality, the actuality of things, if it goes against your feelings, if it goes against your emotions, if it goes against your ideology, you're going to rebel against it and stuff. But, I want to touch upon the concept of how all throughout society, especially like in Black culture, how the powers that be really have created confusion out of chaos. Now, for one, the reason why there's a lot of problematic things that exist in Black culture and Black people dealing with Black people is because we have taken on concepts and ideology that traditionally and historically we never really took on. We weren't really like that. So now, when you look at the argument between old and young, a lot of times it's based upon earlier generations who lived a life a certain way, and historically what they've been taught, is continuations of earlier generations before them. And we've reached a point where, like, now a lot of things that historically as Black people, not talking about the world in general, but as Black people, we're starting to look at things and think in ways that, we never historically really did. And so you got older generations who look at things that the younger generations are doing and how they think and act and, be. And they're like, it's not about, but what the older generation perspective is better because they're older, or the younger generation perspectives is bad because they're younger. It's, in the continuance of, our thoughts and behaviors and our culture historically being as they have been for so many generations has been altered now. And the question becomes, how did this all come about? And the older generations, because of things they seen way before, the younger generations, their understanding is going to be like, based upon what they have seen and what they know and looking at what's going on now. So that's based upon wisdom. And that's the reason why the younger generation is supposed to listen to and respect the wisdom of their elders, because there's a lot of things you don't know about, so that you can grasp the concepts of things, understand the world more better based upon what they have gone through and the lives that they have lived. And, the older generation helps you understand the trickery and the wickedness of things, because these corporations, the powers that be, are still with the same mind frame they've always had. But the difference about black, people and black culture is throughout our communities, we had certain understandings about things where we knew that we weren't a part of that world, so to speak, and you've seen this whole now induction of black people in a kind of false theoretical sense, or more so being indoctrinated by appearing to be inducted into different, areas where now we feel more inclusive, or they want you to feel like, oh, they're being more inclusive now of, us than they were before in previous years. And black folks sometimes grasp that stuff as though that's a good thing, like that's a positive. Like, oh, look, see, it's being different. But based upon, truthfully, the historical aspect of racism and racism and prejudice as it applies to us throughout many centuries, we have to proceed with caution. That's just in surviving. So nobody can fault us for that. That's how we should be. We have to proceed with caution. Somebody dangling something out there as bait, saying, look, hey, you guys want this? We know we didn't give you this before, but you can have it now. You have to mentally ask yourself, yeah, but what are the conditions of now we're being accepted into this, or this is okay for us to participate in this, whatever thing it is that you never let us participate in before? What do we have to give up? What do we have to sacrifice? And a lot of black folks, I think, blindly go into things and they say, oh, okay, money, fame, notoriety, and once they offer that type of stuff, people who have never had something or had too much of anything will tend to just jump. They'll just take that faithful leap just because of look what's being offered to me. It's like they think it's some kind of common sense to actually just do that. Sign my name on the dotted line. You're going to give me $1 million? Okay, fine. But you got to ask the question, what's behind that $1 million? And what truthfully am I getting out of this? And where is the $1 million? Are they giving you the $1 million up front? Or we're going to periodically give you some of it here and there, like, based upon conditions and everything like that. So that pertains itself to the mindset of like when a lot of these artists sign these contracts with these record labels, or you signing movie contracts, or, anything like that. Like, okay, we're going to give you all this money. We're going to make you famous. We're going to, going to give you a platform that the average person, regardless of race or color, that the average person just doesn't get or doesn't have access to. So you have to go into that like with a little bit of skepticism, not just looking at the money. Like they say, everything that glitters is not gold. And so a lot of black people, more and more, what we are seeing, where it's more prevalently being seen, or just biting onto things and accepting indoctrination into things based upon taking bait that's dangled out there for them. And it's these things are disrupting the black family, making things bad between black women and black men, making things even worse between the old and the young. And it's creating a lot of divisions and separation amongst us. Let's take for one, homosexuality. Of course, everybody knows homosexuality has existed since the beginning of time. There's a lot of things that in the Bible that God basically has condemned. He spoke about his disdain for, and what he thought, different things that he recognized and he thought of as an abomination. But the evils of men and the spiritual aspect and nature of Satan has always existed. But the whole thing about it is, God, whatever higher power, you adhere to, said still, don't do this, don't do that, avoid this. If you feel or you see something or perceive something to be of evil intent or have that evil nature, hey, walk away from that, go another route. Black folks historically have always been really spiritual. And, everybody remember, the old school grandmothers, were deeply into the church. Grandma used to always be trying, get her husband, even if he wasn't that serious, she would tell him, recommend him, like, hey, look, we need to go to church. Let's get the kids, whatever, go to church. You know what I'm saying? Because, she was serious about that because she wanted to keep the family grounded and intact spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like, grandma was more serious about trying to save, our souls. And grandma passed it on to her, her children. Always keep a connection and a relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna, make you a better person, keep you out of trouble, and stuff like. Traditionally, with the black family and in black communities, that whole spiritual connection with God or whatever higher power that there is, that whether it's Allah or that you adhere to, it was all about, you need that. You have to always have a spiritual connection or relationship with the Most High to get you through all this madness that exists on earth. Because in recent events, when you look at what Lil Nas X did with the video that Montero, or the promotion of the satanic Nike shoes, what do you see? Decades ago, you would have never seen anything like this. Doesn't matter. Now, did satanic worshipers exist? Yes. This is not new. This is not new under the sun. They existed. But it's the promotion of things now. There's always been these different subcultures. And it's like, but on a mainstream platform, regardless of what mainstream platform it is, you have to look and say, okay, the mainstream platform, in theory, I think offhand anybody would have thought was, this is supposed to be an area that we do try to protect the children, for one, and we don't want to promote things that are, in a way, in a general sense, bad for society, because, there's certain jokes, there's certain things that get said, there's certain actions and ways of being that people exhibit that are not good for the general public. It's not a thing that we have to have some kind. The mainstream is supposed to be something that kind of, has a form of decency to it, And when we look at, a lot of these so-called mainstream platforms now, it seems to be that they have been corrupted. Because why is it that now things like what Lil Nas X is doing, the whole promotion of what Lizzo did when she was out there in front of children, got a thong on with that big old butt of hers, and she's jiggling around and dancing all in front of everybody. Nobody that was right as it pertains to decency would really applaud what she did. So now, but we have people applauding things and talking about people rights to do stuff, and it's just like when the argument was, well, if that had been Beyonce or if that had been Rihanna with a thong on and she had been dancing around and stuff like that, nobody would have said anything. What is the importance of saying? Because let me tell you about the people that's saying that said stuff like that. They know full damn well what's behind what they're saying. They know that people, yes, would find Rihanna and Beyonce way more, I can't put enough ways in it, more attractive than Lizzo. So, yes, there would be, that's just being how we are as human beings. Things that appeal more to look more beautiful. Like I said, it's like shiny things. Of course, we're going to gravitate to more. So you're saying something, but you're not really saying anything. So that means that what? The people saying that have to be somebody who kind of hates the fact that that's true. So therefore, Lizzo was looked at as a promotion for big girls to look sexy and appealing and attractive as the more smaller women. That's what's behind. So those people that's like that, what? They have an agenda. We want the world to start liking women and respect and appreciating the beauty of big, large, 300-400 pound women like that. So that's, you know what I'm saying? It's like the people who are saying that understand that it's probably people themselves, just being truthful about it, that would not be considered attractive or as attractive as the general understanding of what is considered to be attractive. And a lot of that is not just by nature. That's not something contrived and made up. Why, especially when it comes to men looking at women, why do they look at somebody like Beyonce or somebody like Rihanna, or, why is it that women like that are looked at as being attractive, because it's a natural thing within men to look at women like that as being attractive. And any men, and in any race either. You know, you look at a lot of the things that's being promoted. Like, you see these movies, they keep promoting women, especially black women, having more of these masculine type behaviors, and keep promoting the black men having feminine behaviors. And they're saying this is good. They're saying men that act like that act like men. Men naturally or have aggression more than women. We act upon aggression. It's just masculine behavior. That is being called toxic. Toxic masculine behavior is basically masculine behavior. That's what they're really talking about. They're not talking about, there's masculine behavior and then there's toxic. No, they're masculine behavior, because what they're trying to push is masculine behavior is the men who act feminine. Okay, you if you look at all different races and different nationality of women, and you tell me, don't the black woman, you tell me that the black woman doesn't act differently than different races and groups, other groups and ethnicities, different ethnicities of other women. You have these people, or you have these women sometimes will try to lie. Oh, well, all women act like that. Well, that's like saying, okay, we all know, like, when you see a black woman, I don't give a damn if it's, if you see a white woman, you see an Asian woman, you see a Latino woman with it. Now, the Latino woman probably, like, you got to grade that kind of a little bit on curve, because a lot of times, traditionally, like, blacks and Hispanics have always lived right by each other. So our cultures have always been intertwined. That's why I look at black people sometimes when they be saying, I can't stand Mexicans. I hate to. What are you talking about? You can't stand Mexicans. They didn't hysterically always live right next door to us. You got the Puerto Ricans, who are also mixed with black, and you got a lot of black people that their ethnicities are still like Latino, black Cubans, Dominican Republicans, So that's crazy. But where does that come from? Because there's also this push to make blacks and Latinos kind of go against each other. But why don't blacks and Latinos wise up from that and understand that? But who's the person controlling the strings as far as that goes? Who's trying to have us all be these puppets where we're saying things to go against other people, and and vice versa, they going against us? What we see now? Now we see this whole agenda now pushing blacks against the Asians because of the coronavirus and everything. Like, there was first Donald Trump called it the China virus. And then he was calling it the Wuhan virus. And then he said, somebody questioned him one time, he was speaking, and they said, Mr. President, you said, why do you refer to it as the China virus? He said, because that's where it comes from, don't it? So there was this whole thing of maybe like white people and Republicans, more so at first, pushing the whole aspect of that being a virus that came from China, to now they're trying to push that it's blacks that are assaulting Asians. And it's like, well, as much damn Chinese foods that we buy, but we got a problem with Asians now. See what I'm saying? These things that have never historically been this way, it's being pushed to like, if they're trying to. So it's like they're rewriting history. They're messing with your mind. It's like somebody telling you what your name is, but you've known your name to be what it is your whole life, and somebody says, no, your name is not this, your name is this, and your name is this, and You're not this race anymore, and you're not this. Look at us as black people. We've been, how the hell have we accepted the fact that we've been niggers, Negro, colored, black, and now we're African American. We're the only damn race that allows people outside of us to call us or refer to us what they want to in this country. So what does that mean? At some point down the line, we're going to be called something else other than African American. And we're just going to ride with it. Why do we allow shit like that? That's what we got to question. You look at a black woman, historically, with the bodily dimensions that they have historically had. But instead of, having a mindset of being healthy, looking healthy, I'm not just talking about, once again, I'm talking about the feelings and emotions. Being actually healthy and looking actually healthy. Now you have black women who now say, no, you should accept me being overweight. Like the women that come on Kevin Samuel's show. I'm a 10. He asked him, ma'am, how much do you weigh? 265 pounds. And how tall are you? 5'4". And I deserve a 6-figure man. She said she deserved. You look at other nationalities, other races of women, constantly going to the gym, eating right. Okay? Think about this, ladies. And this is more so like for black women to really understand this concept. What do you think, or how do you think some black men, I ain't saying all, but how do you think they're going to look at that? You're telling me I don't have a choice. I have to accept you being 265 pounds, 5'4", but I better be buff and in shape, and I better be making 6 figures to be with you. You don't have a right to tell me that I must accept lesser, but you deserve greater. Where the hell did that come from? Who pumped that ideology into your mindset that, hey, it's all right for you to have 4 kids by 3 different men and be 100 pounds overweight? Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Probably the same damn people, while they telling you that, that same woman is telling you, you're a beautiful sister. But she hitting the gym. People gotta think, man. What the hell happened to black folks? It's just like everything that's going on with us now. Look at the music. The youth, they're not embracing or not trying to understand where hip-hop came from. How did it come from nothing? What made that happen? And what's the true concept, mindset, ideology behind the creation of this music? And people talk about now, there's no political type rappers or, there's no conscious minded rappers. If y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do, as they do nowadays, that's cool. But now, where's the other stuff? Why don't we have a mixture? Why don't we have variety? So all the people that long for consciousness and, intellect and things with more substance, we can't hear that. But they're trying to make you believe that, youth don't give a damn about that no more. Youth just want to pop mollies and, drink lean and, have sex and, and worship Satan. That's what's going on now. That's just what the youth like. So we giving them what they like. No, that's what's been pushed on them. But like I said, the mindset, the thing is, why and how in the world did we start accepting this stuff? See, that's what it's really all about. Where did it come from? What this like where we're like, we cool with this stuff, you know? And I hope that there aren't any women, you know, that see this and they be like, oh, he's just bashing women. No. Black men are doing a whole lot of things they ain't got any business doing. Like, that's just like I mentioned, like Lil Nas X. When you look at the rappers, and you look at even some of the actors, you're looking at some of these comedians, another question can be asked is why are they accepting whatever is that's being told to them? Do this and this will make you famous.